Welcome to episode 4 of Blooming Topics, an initiative by the Bloom Group Community Services Society to raise awareness and stimulate conversation about pressing societal issues. My name is Cindy Graves. I'm the Director of Development and Communications at the Bloom Group and your host for today's podcast. In celebration of International Women's Day, we've produced a series of episodes for the month of March, inviting women within our community from all walks of life to share their experiences, stories, and hope for a gender-equal world. Today we welcome 3 executives from 100 Women Who Care, the Vancouver chapter: Jill Doctoroff, Elaine, Wallace, and Jen Hickey. The theme for today's talk is Mobilizing the Power of Women. Welcome, ladies from 100 Women Who Care. We've got Jen and Jill and Elaine with us today. And thank you for coming. So it's an opportunity for us to get to know you a little bit more and what you do at 100 Women Who Care in Vancouver. And also to celebrate International Women's Day and what that might mean to women who are members of your group. So with regard to that, so what is the power of getting together as a group?
It's a really neat concept, and it's a global concept, 100 Women Who Care. And what it really does is it looks at like the power of connections, and that power kind of comes in a few different ways. So the idea is getting 100 people who identify as women together. They spending only an hour of their time, because the time is really precious for many people, and hearing about 3 different charities, and then deciding which one is going to get the $10,000 with 100 members that evening. So what members do is they commit to $400. There's 4 meetings, $100 for each of them in a calendar year, and an hour of their time. And if they can't make it, that's okay. We still ask them to honor their commitment. And what it really does is it makes you, as an individual donor, see that you can have a much bigger impact when you get together with other people.
Well, what does that impact look like? What kind of impact are you making?
I think we're making a huge impact as somebody who's spent her entire career in the not-for-profit sector and has done a lot of fundraising. It's really hard to get no strings attached, large sums of money. So what we do is we ask that it's a project that's in the greater Vancouver area, because that's the area that we serve, and they can do anything within charitable means with that. They don't need to write any report, they don't need to apply for any money like the grant. They come in, they spend 5 minutes just talking. We don't even want a PowerPoint presentation, and they tell everybody about what they want to do with their organization, what they want to do specifically with the funds. And if they get the money, we ask them to come back, and again, no presentation, no report to the funder, spend another 5 minutes just letting us know what's been happening in the months that have passed. So it's a huge, as somebody who's worked in our profit sector, getting $10,000 like that is a huge gift. It's so hard to raise money, and it's not raising money for the individuals, it's just this one event.
If I could just jump in on everything, both during their initial presentation and when they come back, we've had wonderful stories of what they've done with that $10,000. And as Jill said, because we don't attach anything to it other than we're looking for local Greater Vancouver area charities, then the money spent there, they're able to take that and use it with it, and spend it how they see it, how they see best to use it. And that's been wonderful. I think our members have loved that.
Yeah, I'm sure the charities really appreciate that. Freedom and flexibility to use the funds as they most need. And what kind of women join this 100 Women Who Care group?
I want Jen to answer that, because she's one of our ideal members.
I think, what is an ideal member?
I don't know. I think that's a landmine right there. But I think for me, if I reflect on what compelled me to join, and I'm sure that there's a lot of women out there who feel the same, that you are compelled to help. You don't need to look very far to see all the need that's out there. I was overwhelmed. I wanted to do something. I was overwhelmed with where do I funnel or channel my energy. I heard about 100 Women Who Care. I was actually going to start here in Vancouver, but thank goodness Shar did it. It would have been a disaster. And here I saw it's only an hour of my time. My $100 is amplified. I felt like I was making a difference, and I just think there are a lot of people out there who want to help, who don't know how, who may be concerned about spending a lot of time volunteering week after week, where this is very low commitment, and we have that gratification of seeing how it helped too, that it's not going out into the ether. And so I think, our ideal member is someone who wants to be a part of the community and help join us, and you'll make a difference right away. And really, the ideal member is just someone who comes. There you go.
Wait, there it is.
I'm saying sometimes.
It's really easy to get this club.
So very.
What I wanted to add is people often ask us what's the age range and stuff of our membership and who comes to these meetings. And I think what's really cool is there's people such as myself that are retired and wanted to do more in my retirement to give back. I've always considered myself lucky in life, and I wanted to do something back. But we have everybody of all ages and from all different professions there. There are other professional women who are also looking for some networking opportunities, and it's a great networking opportunity for them. And it's also a wonderful way. We've got a couple people that are new to Vancouver and wanted to meet people. So again, great way to meet people with professional interests and like-minded people. And really, like-minded is we want to contribute back something and find a way to do it. And it's been wonderful for that for so many people.
What are some of the barriers that you see that would prevent someone from, a woman, from being able to give back? How does this address that?
I think it's something that I think maybe it was Jen who said earlier on, which was one of the reasons that she initially joined, is like sometimes we think that what we're doing isn't enough, right? And so we think, well, maybe I can only give $100 to whatever charity. Like, what difference is that going to make? And of course, every donation for every charity does make a difference, but $10,000 makes a big difference. And I think that's part of it is that we're no longer individuals. We might still be doing donations on our own for whatever other charities we might want to support, but this is something that we do as a group. And I think we can all recognize that a donation of $10,000 is going to make a much bigger impact than $100. And so every little $100 counts towards that. And so that part of the group.
$10,000 just goes so far for so many of these charities versus my $100 or my $50 someplace else.
And I think that's actually a really good point too, because some of our members are donating more than $400 a year. And so what they're doing is they're learning about 3 groups each time. So any member can nominate a registered charity. The charity just has to be around for more than a year, and it has to be registered with the CRA. It has to be doing work in Metro Vancouver. So it could be a provincial organization that has programs here in Metro Vancouver, or even a national one. And that's like the one thing that's also really interesting is that I think that some of the folks who present and don't walk away with the $10,000 are getting donations at other parts of the year from people who've been there and heard about them and may not have ever learned about them in another way. And I think another thing that's really cool is like we do get all different sized charities that come and present. And so some of us might feel like, oh, I don't want to give my money to something really big like cancer because everybody knows about it and everybody donates. But they might not know that there's this very special, unique pilot project that a large organization might want to be doing in Metro Vancouver, and that $10,000 is actually going to fund it and give them the evidence they need to know whether it's a successful program to continue with and find other ways to fund or not. And so even big organizations, it's a really nice venue for them to have for a very specific project. Like we all know that overall women make less money than men do, and so many of us have more limited resources. And as we said, like so they're only doing, some people are donating $400 a year, which is amazing. And for them, what they're feeling is a bigger sense of power for that donation. Right? And I think before, people might not be as philanthropic because they might not think or might not realize that the $10 here, $50 here, the $100 really does make an impact. So I think it gives people the confidence to see that they're part of a bigger group giving.
We are so connected in the power of women and being able to turn a little bit into a lot. And the more of us, the more chapters of BC and Canada around the world, the more we're able to pick our charities and find those right organizations to help women succeed. And so many times it's being able to offer that helping hand to somebody. And so many of our charities that have gotten that money have been that helping hand that so many women need it. And we're able to help support that and give that. I feel so good to do that.
There are tears at every meeting, I think. We hear a lot of moving stories.
Yeah.
It's hard to choose.
The theme for this year's International Women's Day is Break the Bias.
How has the Women Who Care in Vancouver, how do you think that you're making an impact on breaking the bias?
I think we're probably doing it in two different ways. So one, I think, is like power. We'll reclaim power by being together as a group and doing something collectively. And then I think the other one is like the financial component of it. We hear about, or I hear about people who are philanthropic, and I hear about people like Warren Buffett, and I hear about people like Bill Gates, right? But you don't hear of as many women who are philanthropic. And so I think this gives us an opportunity to sort of break that down and say, you know what, maybe individually I can't give that level, but as a group, we can make a big change and we can do that. So to me, that's sort of some real areas where I think that the group contributes to that.
A group like this, it gives women a voice, right?
I just think for somebody becoming a member, that they will see personal value in becoming a member of that, and they'll be able to see their dollars making a difference here in my Vancouver community.
I think a lot of people do want to give back, and we do have some people who come and actually do some volunteer at our meetings for us, and they might not be in a position to actually financially donate, but they're actually giving their time, they're checking guests in, helping with different components.
Yeah.
One of the things I want people to know is that we really do have power when we get together as a group.
That's a great commonality to have with these women. So there's already a lot in common just by showing up, because we all feel compelled to help. So
Thank you so much for speaking with us today about how the collective power of women coming together can raise their voice and make a huge difference. This concludes our third Blooming Topics episode highlighting International Women's Day. Stay tuned for the next episode to hear the courageous story of an Indigenous woman who was adopted during the 60s scoop. You won't want to miss her powerful story. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast, YouTube channel, and follow us on all our social media platforms for more episodes discussing important topics that impact our community. See you next time.